What's going on, Pop Samurai fans? This is your host, Jelani Hoon, along with hosts
Jason.
John Harwood.
Pat.
Thank you guys so much once again for joining us for No Games, No Life, our podcast here on the Pop Samurai Network, where we talk about games from the table to the screen as fans, as friends, as we gather around these mics and spit that hot fire for you guys out there. So take a listen. Join us on social media. You can find us all over the place: Facebook, Instagram, Pop Samurai. You can also find us on Twitter at Pop Samurai Cast. And if you guys got any questions, topics, comments, things like that for us, you can send it over to popsamurainetwork@gmail.com. And if you got some good ones, we'll read them on the air. So good stuff. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
You doing all right?
Pretty great.
Pretty great.
Yeah, there's been some news.
There's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to talk about here today, and we'll get to that eventually.
Okay.
But let's start the podcast out with what you're playing, and a majority of the crew here has something we got to talk about that we played. But Pat, we're going to start with you. What did you play?
I finished Bloodborne.
You finished Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Finally.
What? Yeah, it has been a while. But yeah, dude, the game was freaking amazing. Like it was good. I just love the gameplay of it, the setting, the world, there's stuff I liked about it. Like, all right, so here's what I didn't like about it. You can't respec. So like, in some other games you can respec, but like in this one, it's just like once you're like allocate your points, you can't like say, oh, I want to try out like a magic build or something like that, right?
Okay.
So what I ended up having, I didn't know, like I was getting these items that were like grayed out, right? Like you can't use these items. So I just assumed that I was like, oh, okay, maybe like I'll meet a guy later on that'll teach me how to use these items, and then I can like use them and whatever. No, it turned out I couldn't use them only because I didn't have enough of the right stat, and it was just like I was pretty much locked out of those items. So it was already like I realized that like super late into the game. I was like, oh man, I kind of want to try these because some of them look pretty cool.
Well, that's you can in Bloodborne, can't you just grind until you get like enough levels to
Yeah,
level that skill up all the way?
You could, but like I don't want to like over level myself. That's the only thing. Like I like to still keep it a challenge. I feel like if I put too many levels in, the game gets too easy.
Plus, with those, it's like the higher level you get, the longer it takes to get to the next level. So that grind is going to be really long.
Yeah, it gets
That's
really
true,
big. Yeah. Like later on, even though I was getting like hundreds of thousands of souls, I only get like maybe like 2 or 3 levels out of them.
Right.
Did you play the DLC?
I don't have the DLC.
Oh man, you should get it though. DLC is really good.
Like all the Soul series stuff, like their DLCs are always like heard are really good, but I've never played any of them.
Really?
You should play them. They're really good.
I know.
Come on, man. That's where the real challenge is.
After now that you've beaten the game, right? Like, if you sit on a final score for it, Pop Samurai scales being 1's the worst, 10's the best. Where are you gonna sit on this for this legacy review of this game that has been out for a while?
It's so hard, man, because like I hate that I was like locked out of these items, and like the story was like you don't really understand what you're doing. You kind of know where you got to go, but you don't really understand why or how. It's just like there's a boss over there, go kill it, kind of a thing. But like you have to watch his lore videos, these like hour-long lore videos to understand it.
Yeah.
Usually that's just part of the course for the Souls games. So I don't like that part though. It's between a 9 or a 9. I'm gonna settle on a 9.
Okay.
Solid 9.
Okay, all right, not too bad, not too bad. Anything else you played?
No, that's pretty much it. A little bit of League. That's about it. Yeah.
All right. To the rest of the group, has anybody played anything besides our stream?
I just played a little bit of Fallout 4.
Fallout 4?
Yeah,
More?
Fallout 4.
How much more?
I'm going's really slow because I'm on survival. I'm on the survival difficulty, which is really, really difficult.
It's the one where you can't fast travel, right?
Yeah, you can't fast travel, and then you die really, really easily. And then also, when you die, you go back to the last time you slept, not the last time you saved. So, and there's no way to like to manually save besides sleeping. So, yeah, it's pretty rough, but I'm making my way through it. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I've only been playing Overwatch, but I have been watching my roommates play Detroit Become Human, the new David Cage fiasco game.
Yeah.
Yes. From the folks that brought you Heavy Rain,
Beyond Two Souls,
and Beyond Two Souls,
Indigo Prophecy,
Indigo
Omicron.
Prophecy. I liked Indigo Prophecy. I loved Heavy Rain. I did not play Beyond Two Souls simply because I just didn't.
Why did you like those games?
I just did. I like the story.
I think there's like a weird cult appeal about those.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're like
fell
B-list
into it.
movies, but it's like
I fell into it, guys.
oh man,
It is what it is.
it's
Don't judge me.
To be fair, it's the most visually impressive game that he's put out.
It does look nice. Yeah,
But,
I've
like,
seen some streams of it.
That's undeniable, but it's very heavy-handed with its teachings and themes and whatnot.
With its teachings.
Yeah.
Come, learn your lessons from David Cage.
David Cage holding up the sign that just says "Stop racism." You know, it's great.
Like,
Yeah.
only humans allowed. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff.
I haven't played it yet. I am interested in playing it. I've heard some stuff about it. Like you said, that was some people's kind of critique of it, which is wish that they had a little bit more finesse with how they handled certain storylines. But
Well, yeah, but that's not David Cage's way.
yeah. So otherwise, cool. One thing I'll bring up for you, Jason, is that you actually jumped in some VR over here with me. So
Yeah.
how did you enjoy your experiences with some of the VR?
What was that game
experiences?
called?
so-
Accounting Plus. Yeah.
Accounting Plus for the VR. You also jumped in with me and Pat. We played a little bit of Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes.
Yeah.
You played a little Fruit Ninja VR.
Y'all berated me for dying in that bomb, even though I was the one in
Dude,
pressure.
okay.
You guys are safe in the office back at home. I'm putting my life on the line. No, those are all great. Like, I haven't gotten a chance to play many VR things. So
Yeah.
it's
So
like,
this is what's really great because I want to jump in your experience of not playing a lot of VR, then jumping into a few of them in a row. How did you enjoy your experience overall?
it's been like A+ every time, except for Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja, I didn't
It's
like.
just because you
Really?
couldn't handle your, you
Yeah,
couldn't handle
I
a
couldn't
sword.
do it. Like,
Was it
I
like
don't-
unsynced or was it?
no, it was
You were
just
just bad.
I don't know. I was
you were just
probably just
bad.
bad, and therefore I didn't like it.
I don't like
That's
that
how
I
it
have to be a
works.
real ninja.
Accounting Plus was A+. I'd love to have a chance to go back through because I think I figured out how to get to that like little secret thing.
Yeah, there were some
But-
secrets that you had missed, but there was a lot of fun jokes that you really
yeah.
really enjoyed.
Yeah, I like playing the bones.
The
That was-
bone hearts.
that was
Yeah,
great.
play me. Very
And,
fun.
Yeah, the bomb was good too.
Yeah, that's one of if you guys above all else, if you guys gonna get a VR, you want a party game, get Keep Talking Nobody Explodes. You can get it on
That's a good
Steam too, but I just feel like the immersiveness of like
Of the
Yeah.
VR, like
you're
you
not
have it in
there
your
with
hands,
your crew.
and
Like
you're,
you feel like you're in a
turning it.
different room.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
puts the pressure on more.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun.
Just one little thing. I saw the full like abilities of the new League of Legends support guy.
He's not a support.
Yeah, and it was actually now I kind of completely agree with you. It was
not
like
a support.
they were like nothing in his kit says I'm a support. Like
But people
zero
are gonna
thing.
do it.
The only thing was just like they were at the end. They were like, oh crap, this was supposed to be a support. If he kills somebody with his all they share gold,
Yeah,
then like that's it. Like there's nothing else to it.
I don't know.
But actually, there's the one thing is like that will stop him from being played other like lanes or sections is he doesn't gain bonus health from items.
Yeah, but he gets that big ass shield or like regen, so it's like fine.
But you have to like go in and go out, but he has the mobility. But still, like that's not his kit is not a supporty at all.
No, it's
It's
not.
insane.
Yeah, it's a
Alright.
weird one.
Sorry, that's our league thing.
Okay, all right. For John, Jason, and me, we hopped on a stream on Monday to honor my birthday for
Honor.
Memorial Day, and
So
we
I missed
stre-
it.
you missed
Yeah.
it.
Sorry,
you
I was
missed
feeling
it. It's all right.
sick.
It's all right.
Sick.
We played.
I
Kirby
caught some of the stream, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I
did
did.
you? I
I
was
did.
wondering
Cool.
whether or not you were gonna hop on. So we jumped on. We played Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
think we grew closer as friends, right? But further apart as like cooperative, like
I trust
players.
you
I-
so
that-
much less.
okay.
Yeah.
I like
There
our
was-
trust of everybody got
Okay.
so much less.
There was I caught that moment where it was just like, okay, I want to keep King DDD, and then like
It was the best moment when we were like so hyped and we were just like, all right, we're going to the final battle.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you guys got your legendary characters, right? It was like, yes, we can't get them any other way, right? Besides like going back to this one place that we're not going to be able to go back to.
Yeah.
Got him. We're not going to do anything. Okay, Jelani. I want fire powers. All right, let me get fire powers. And then it's like, all right, give me the fire powers. And all of a sudden, someone jumped. And then, whoop,
No,
no more
okay,
King DDD.
okay.
Well, yeah,
What? I did not jump. I did my upswing, and for some reason that counted as me hitting the thing.
It counted.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, God. But at least we have marks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was 100% my fault.
Yeah.
Where I accidentally switched
Yeah.
John's character to a lame character.
Oh
you
yeah.
have to give it to
You
the
like slowly
CPU.
scrolled over to
Yeah.
him, like, oh, this is the right
I
one.
didn't. I thought I had moved over to the CPU. That was my bad.
Oh man.
It's
Yeah.
still a-
See,
it's
this
still
is
like-
this is why we needed the fourth person, Pat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would have been even more mad though.
No, but yeah, it
That was good.
I had fun, guys. So, John, we're moving down the line here. So, for you, your opinions on the game?
On Kirby Star Allies.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it didn't like blow me out of the water or anything. I guess the end was like really really crazy, but I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10.
Okay,
Overall.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, hear about this. Like, how good would it have been if it was just like alone? It's like you just played it single player.
Yeah, I think it would have been like it wouldn't have been as good. If
yeah,
played
but
by
that's not the
yourself.
intention. That's why it's called Star Allies. Where you can
Yeah.
bring in your friends. You
Good
know.
point. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason, what about you?
I give it like the game a 6, but I give like the final boss like an 8. That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It completely changed the game.
Yeah.
There, so.
They've never done anything like that before.
All right, so I'm gonna critique the shit out of this game. So
Ooh.
besides my fun factor with you guys, right,
Uh-huh.
like raising it up, fun factor, playing with you guys, that's off the charts, right? That was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
The game, the platforming, I don't think was really platforming. It was kind of just like let's walk through a level, basically.
mean,
sometimes.
That's kind of how Kirby is, though.
Kirby
Yeah.
Yeah,
to the
but
start.
the one thing that if I had to critique anything out of this game was there were too many goddamn loading screens.
Yeah.
That's
I
There
guess
were
that's true.
way
That's
too
fair.
many like transitions, and there were sometimes areas that like why did we need to walk like down a
Right.
level and then to another loading screen?
The thing is, I think in most Kirby games, like the load times like aren't so long because like the typical Kirby format is that it is like a bunch of different rooms that you go through doors and go to the different rooms. But like for some reason in this game, like the load times were just like kind of out of control. It was probably just like a fact that it was just probably because like they're they've upsized the graphics and stuff from how they used to be.
Is this the first Kirby game on the Switch?
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe it's just like the regular system. You
Yeah.
know?
That might be it. I know there was also Wii U Kirby, I think, but I don't
There was.
remember. I don't remember it very well, or if it was good or not.
That's where the Spear Waddle Dee and them came in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So too many transitions, and there were too many sections where I felt like why did they put that in the game, right? If they never came back to it, i.e. the goddamn
Oh, the train.
The train.
Yeah.
Train.
What happened to the train?
What
The train was
I
the
missed
best
the train.
power.
So in the game, if people don't know, there were these couple sections where you would do a
like
team
team up,
ability,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all 4 of the characters would team up and do like a special thing.
Be a
so
bridge.
there
Combination.
was be a
Yeah.
bridge,
Yeah,
be
the
a
bridge.
giant
Be a
wheel, write a star together.
I
Yeah.
saw those. Yeah.
The one that was the best was where we essentially were like a train
Yeah.
running through these levels, and it was almost like it turned it into basically a Sonic game.
Kinda.
Where we were just guiding, like running on ceilings, running on walls, and it just made it fast paced and it made it feel pretty cool. And they only did it once in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
While the bridge section,
The
they did it so
Ooh,
much.
check out this
They
bridge,
didn't.
dude.
They looked boring.
The
Sorry, to be
bridge,
honest.
the
Yeah.
bridge section was like, well, okay, it's a puzzle, so let's just fix this puzzle.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so they did it once. They have to bring it back at some point, right? And they never did. It's almost
Yeah.
like they were like, let's test a couple things out in this game, and let's throw a couple sections in here and see where it goes, right? And it just felt like that's kind of weird. Like again, last boss was awesome, completely different from the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, let's just throw a bunch
Just
of
do
different
whatever.
like mechanics into the game and see which ones work, which ones don't. And I feel like they focused on the ones that didn't work as good as the other ones, right? Like I liked riding the star,
Yeah.
right? But I liked being the train more. right? I felt it was just fast paced and we were having fun with it more.
Yeah.
But otherwise, overall, like you said, the game 6, the ending boss 8.
Yeah. You actually, I have something to say
Go ahead.
about it because, like, when we were playing, I kept referencing like, oh, remember Nightmare and Dreamland? Remember this? Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it afterwards, like the puzzle solving in that game was not difficult at all, and that's why I kept going back to Nightmare, where it's like you would have segments where you're going through the level, and all of a sudden, like one of those wooden pegs would show up, and it's like, oh, you need hammer power for this, but there was no hammer in this level.
Yeah.
So you would have, it would be something like there was a hammer enemy in the last game that you'd have to get, save it, bring it to the next level, and then use it.
Yeah.
Where almost all the puzzles in that game, or this new game, were like, they were cool, you'd have to do the combination attacks, but they were all right there readily available for you.
Yeah, literally, once we caught on to that, it was literally, oh, let's go off screen, come back, and see what they gave us, because obviously the enemy had to be nearby.
Yeah.
When
I feel that's better though. Like I feel like then how do you know what power you're supposed to save?
Listen,
well, it feels
it's trial
like
and error.
it's almost it's the difference between a casual game and a kind of hardcore gamer game, right? Like if you're playing a Metroid game, right? And you don't have the rocket power to blast certain doors open, you come back to it later on. When you gain that ability, you come back to the area, right? I felt like if they wanted to have that in there, it could have been like cool, because they did give us a lot of like neat like little extra areas.
Yeah.
And I think for like people who wanted to like get extra game like gameplay out of it, like and feel like they accomplished more, I think that it would have been better to like throughout the level, like, or from another level, bring back a character's power and then try and break through like the Easter, the collectible areas or something like that.
Yeah.
So the more challenge areas, if you will. But
Right.
this felt more of just like, it's a casual
More
game that
streamlined.
you play,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
you play together, So,
I
but
remember notoriously in my mind in Nightmare Dreamland, I know mechanically speaking, if you absorb 2 of the spark enemies at the same time, because no, if you grab 2 powers at one time, you get the roulette. But if you do the 2 sparks and you let it finish all the way to the end, you always get hammer. And it was super important in that game that you learned that like through trial and error, because there are segments where that's the only way you can get the hammer power to get past some of these puzzles.
Really?
And like there are segments in that game where you have to go through like weird environmental objects that aren't blatantly labeled out. Like there's like the background cave painting, and there's like a little entrance to a cave, and you can go through that. And it's like no one would ever tell you that, but that's where one of the secrets is. Or like you go into like this little star in one of the space levels.
yeah.
And it's like there's nothing like that in the new game.
So for that game, you like the puzzles way better.
Yeah, because like they were challenging. You had to actually figure them out.
Like I said,
To be-
this
to
is
be-
night and day. That's all it is.
Also,
Yeah.
to be fair, we
basically.
only played the game for 7 hours. Maybe there are things like that in there.
Maybe when you hit that, maybe when you hit 8 hours, it gets
Yeah,
really
maybe.
good.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
guys?
Maybe you're right.
No, I mean, like, again, it's a fun, I feel like, family game. I feel like I could take my kids through the game or something
Yeah.
like that, you
Yeah.
know? It's a casual game, I feel like, right? Where
Dark Souls.
if they had like I feel like if they would have had like a after you beat the game, it's like, oh, here's nightmare section or something like that, and that would have been like, oh, that's another
We
stream.
did the super spicy challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
tried. Was like, oh, there's a super spicy challenge. Maybe like
you
it,
guys,
it changes.
did you just like clear it? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
It was
cleared
the
it.
hardest
Yeah.
one. It was
turned
easy.
out
it was
not
boss
to be
rush.
that
Boss
spicy.
It was
boss rush.
Yeah.
not spicy enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not spicy enough. So, I think we were just too hot for the game.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I say, right?
I think my Kirby standards are just too high.
Too many
Yeah.
hardcores over
So,
here.
I mean, it's fun. I would again, I would play another Kirby game with you guys any day. Hopefully, Pat, you show up for it.
Yeah.
I will try. To.
Clearly, we don't need him.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
You know what? I would have been like, Jelani,
I think you would have held the team together, Pat.
The
right?
glue was
You would have stopped
missing.
us from screwing up. You would have scolded John the first time, and he would have not
I
Yeah.
stolen
scolded John
powers.
the first time.
Well, yeah, but
He don't listen to you.
Yeah,
We
but-
scold everybody.
Yeah.
So it's kind of less impactful.
Yeah.
All right,
Get better.
so let's get into the news.
News.
And boy, oh boy, guys,
So much
E3 is upon us, right?
Oh yeah, we got a little bit of news.
And they are dropping some major bombs before it even happens. So,
Crazy
Just
son of a
real
bitch.
quick, like they do that. They've been doing that lately, the last couple
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
just because like they know that at E3 so many bombs drop that it's
Yeah.
just like
you don't
won't
want stuff
have
getting
any-
overshadowed.
Yeah, you get overshadowed
So
too much.
but they are dropping some things where I was like, what are they going to announce then that's
Yeah,
supposed to hit
right.
fire? You know, because they obviously don't want like one company doesn't want to announce 12 games and have any of them overshadow each other. So if they announce some of their like other games ahead of time and then have like save like that big pop in their conference, like that's what you want to do. But like this is making me like kind of really excited, and I'm hoping E3 doesn't let me down with that. That like we're gonna get some good news and some good reveals coming up. So let's get into what's news, guys. First off, small little thing personally, just for me. Team Sonic Racing has been announced, right, guys? If you guys don't know what that is, it's probably one of the best Sonic games.
Sonic go-karts or what?
Series where basically Sonic rides in a car instead of running. Everyone rides in vehicles, and it's a race. It's a kart racer, guys.
Why is he in a car?
Yeah,
I don't know, guys.
What's the point?
I don't make up rules. I don't make up the rules, right? There was you remember that one game where he was with like real people, like
yeah,
like
that's Sonic 06.
yeah,
Legendary.
legendary game, you
Least
know.
we forget.
So fun times. I don't make up the rules in this world. So
John, did you play Sonic Riders at all?
is that the one where they were like boarding?
Yeah, they were on like skateboard. They were like on like hoverboards or whatever.
I remember seeing it. I don't know if I think I might have played a demo of it.
Yeah.
That one
So
had Jet the Hawk in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jet the Hawk.
Yeah.
So back in the PS3 days, I played Team Sonic Racing. So it's a fun game.
Okay.
It's a card game. So
Is like a new like a Kart 2 or
what do you mean?
like
It's
a
just
sequel
called
or is
Team
it like
Sonic
a
Racing again.
Oh, right now they're just calling it Team Sonic Racing.
Yeah.
And it's been announced for this winter. So not much has been seen about it. Like a 30-second teaser trailer, and it just shows Sonic and Shadow riding in their Lambos or whatever they are.
It's not related to Sonic R, right?
what's
I don't
Sonic?
think
That's the
so.
old one from like Dreamcast or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the only racing game where they actually ran.
yeah, they should be running, but
They
whatever.
should be.
Right?
I'm not worried about it. So it is what it is. They had super transformations where like they would like if you collect all the Chaos Emeralds in the race while you're racing, you would transform your vehicle into some super powered vehicle that would like
Great.
boost you to do something cool. Sonic's vehicle would transform into a transformer. And
Great.
like
Oh,
kind of
jeez. Okay.
so
That reminds me of like the old Lego Racer games.
yeah. So
It's like where's the gem that reminds me that I'm supposed to be fast so I can run faster than this car?
Yeah, right.
yeah. For the PlayStation fans out there, Sony has announced PlayStation Plus games for next month. For July, we're gonna get XCOM 2 for PS4 and Trials Fusion. XCOM.
I might. Yeah.
That's
I'm down for that because I love the first one. I didn't get into the second one just because I didn't get around to it, but I love like that strategy and. As I wait for Donkey Kong to be added into Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, this will satiate me for a little bit.
I haven't played XCOM, but I've played Mario's X Rabbit, so I think I'm ready for the XCOM too.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I played Tactics, so
Yeah, you basically it's
It's the same, but with permadeath.
I went in and I would go in and I would name like characters after like family members. So
Great.
like
Oh.
I would feel their deaths and like
That's rough.
I felt deaths.
I don't know why you do that to yourself.
Listen, I wanted to keep them alive. It made me feel like I needed to keep them alive. I had a character named after my brother Tim, and he was separated from our group at one point, and he was holding them off as long as he could. And then like
Private Ryan over here.
we tried the Saving Private Ryan him. It didn't work.
Oh,
I ended up losing like half the squad, and I was like, "Well, this is just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, bro."
Tim was gunned
And then
down.
all of a sudden, some sort of weird crab creature came up and stabbed him.
Nice.
And he was honored in our memorial. But yeah, it's a fun series, and I'm liking it. So I'm hoping to jump into that.
Yeah, that sounds tight.
Yeah. Next up, besides that, we have some really big announcements.
The biggins.
Let's go with the one that me and Pat are going to be arguing about first. All right, so
not argue, just be like me, just gloating a little bit.
all right,
Yeah.
Pat,
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when I was
So-
like, no way are they going to come out with another goddamn Fallout game. They just released one, and
They
you're
did.
like, nah, bro.
Wow.
So my reasoning, of course, was always they have the Elder Scrolls Online, and they're just adding a whole new expansion to it. There's no way they will do it. Like World of Warcraft would even do it. Okay, like they're not gonna do it. It's for World of Warcraft. It's been like over like 10 years, and they still like World of Warcrafting it.
It's got to be
So-
more than 10 years now, right?
It
It's
is.
more than
Yeah,
that.
it's way more, yeah.
But
But like
I
so they're
understand.
saying
I
Elder
understand.
Scrolls. So because Elder Scrolls, they're doing this stuff and they're still adding expansions to this. No mainline game for the next foreseeable future,
But
especially not this year.
no. So, okay, so I'm still standing on my E3 prediction.
Oh, okay.
I think they're going to
I-
tease an Elder Scrolls.
I'm also standing on that prediction as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay.
there's gonna be a Fallout. And
They're
a-
like-
and a-
If they drop
No
this
way.
tease, okay. For if you guys know what we're talking about, 'cause
Sorry,
we
yeah,
actually
we
talked
got
about
we
it.
got ahead of
The
ourselves.
news, the news is
The
that
real news.
Bethesda has announced Fallout 76.
Oh, can we talk a little about the stream thing that they did? You know
go
about
ahead, go ahead.
that?
No,
Oh, the
go
please
ahead.
stand by thing.
Yeah, they put up a stream on Twitch
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
like about like 16 hours, like
Yeah.
for like the day before, of just like a little bobblehead next to a TV
Mhm.
that just said "Please stand by."
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
just
I
had
see.
that stream on for like about like half a day, almost a day,
Hmm.
and it was just it garnered like a lot of views. It was like
Mhm.
the top viewed
Oh, yeah,
stream on
well,
Twitch. It was
I
just
saw some
People
memes
want to
about
know,
it.
man. People want to know
Yeah.
about Bethesda, man.
yep, and in the end, they revealed it.
Yeah. Now, if I were an actual like pro at like predicting games and stuff like that, if I were in the know-how, I would actually have like stood back and realized that New Vegas was released like 2 years after Fallout 3,
Mm.
and then I should have realized that Fallout 4 has been out for 3 years. That like, of course, there's gonna be an outside company that they outsource to create a non-numbered Fallout to
Like
come
a-
out.
Yeah, like expansion.
So, because
kinda.
obviously this is like Fallout
Fallout 4
4's
New
New
Vegas.
Vegas, basically. It's dealing with Vault 76. We don't know the setting yet.
Not for sure.
Not for sure. Good.
I have predictions. I think it's gonna be like in West Virginia
That's
because
the big one,
the
yeah.
opening song is "Country Roads" by John Denver, where
Mhm.
it talks about West Virginia.
No,
So
that's
that's
true.
my prediction. It's gonna be in like the Appalachia Mountains or whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
And then was there
Who
like
knows?
there was like posters of like when they were leaving out
Yeah.
of the vault and like
Yeah.
that-
The reclamation or something like that coming
yeah.
back out. Yeah.
and then that's before like all the other Fallout games.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
there is lore on Vault 76. Am I correct?
Mhm.
Right. It's one of the few vaults that didn't have any crazy experiments happen with it. They show a lot of like just the vault with no people in it, and it looks like a larger vault than we've seen before. At least I've like remember seeing before in these other games. I don't remember Fallout New Vegas's vault, but 3 and 4 they didn't have like the crazy expansive vaults. I know that.
Yeah, no, 3 was kind of tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 was kind of like a small community, like
Yeah.
so I remember that. So, again, I posted a post on it on my social media. Excited! I'm never gonna hear the end of this from Pat because like he's
called it,
like I
man.
called it,
Because like
called it, slam
right.
dunked on
so,
you.
So
Slam
you,
dunk.
I mean, you really think you want to double down on this? That there's still gonna be an Elder Scrolls announcement?
What are we doubling down on, man? Listen, I think they're gonna tease it. I think they're teasing it.
Oh,
They're
okay.
gonna say something about an Elder Scrolls like hard number. There's no way
Oh,
that they're gonna let that
Okay,
that lie.
that would be a big bomb. Like just like even just a teaser. Like, all right, doubling
we'll see what
down. I
happens.
see.
We'll see what happens. I'm gonna save this prediction when we get to our predictions cast, which is coming I think next week. I think we're doing it next week,
Yeah.
where we talk about what we think is gonna be happening at E3 for topic of the week. So prepare yourself, guys. But yes, besides me and Pat's little argument here, opinions on what we saw from the teaser and everything like that, and excited about it.
I have predictions.
Go ahead.
Right. So I think this is gonna be a Fallout Online.
There was a guy.
No.
There was
Yeah.
a leak. There was
Listen,
no.
listen.
Whoa!
You're naming it after a vault. A vault is where a community of people are.
Yeah.
You done
that
blow my
Everyone
mind.
gets their own little room that they can manage. They can decorate, do whatever they want with. The vault opens up. You go onto an open world. You do level up stuff. It's Fallout Online.
Bro. You done blew my mind. I don't even know how to feel about this now.
No.
Yeah, it's,
So-
well, it's
They
not
did
gonna
Elder
be- it's
Scrolls
not a
Online,
main
right?
series game.
They
It
did
uses
Elder
the
Scrolls
sa-
Online,
It
right?
uses the same engine as
As four.
Fallout 4.
Okay,
So, which
is that a
is-
problem?
Yeah, that's not. That would that take a lot of work to get that to work.
Okay, well, it's been 3 years. That's a lot of work.
That's I don't know about that, man. I
Listen.
think I don't. I think that's
Listen.
kind of those
Listen.
unrealistic.
Listen, I'm right.
expectations there.
I'll put money down. I'm right.
Oh, man.
Oh, I can't wait for this prediction. I can't wait for this
So-
predictions cast. Oh,
Like,
this is gonna be fun.
So there was this guy that was like leaking this stuff that
Okay.
said, if you're expecting like a single player RPG
That's right.
story based, you're gonna be disappointed. And that's all he said. Just letting you know, don't expect that.
Yeah.
So
Who said that?
it was this guy that was leaking stuff. It was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Some guy who was
Like,
leaking
yeah, it's not
stuff.
a super
Some-
credible
he-
source,
some-
but
but like
leakers are usually right.
yeah,
his
he
name
was,
is his name was Deep Throat,
Yeah.
and he started
That's
leaking
right.
stuff out there.
I found him in a parking lot in a back alley. And he told me
he had
everything
a
that
trench
there is
coat
to
and
know about
everything.
Fallout 76.
Well, I mean, I really like that prediction right there of it being online.
Yeah.
That right there
Mm.
Yeah,
has,
it's gonna be,
has,
it's
has
gonna be an
made me-
MMO. You heard it here first.
Well,
It's
I
Fallout.
mean,
It's Fallout Shelter too.
Yeah. Right?
yeah, Fallout
So,
Shelter.
I think
I got a prediction. It's going to be a game that's connected to Fallout Shelter, where like you can transfer your shelter back
Wait,
and
hold
forth
on.
between
Are
the.
you, is this, are you segueing? You're segueing.
Yeah, I'm segueing. Any final thoughts?
Oh, my fault.
Slick.
So my thing is, it's gonna build on the Fallout 4, the new mechanic that Fallout 4 brought in, which was the base building.
That's I do agree with
The
that.
worst mechanic.
Well, no, I
worst.
think
it
they're
was
gonna make
fun.
it better.
It was
I think they're
fun.
gonna like really
I hope so.
flesh it out and make it way better.
Flesh
Make
it
it
out.
worthwhile.
So
I
it's
think-
like, yeah, you and the whole settlement, the whole vault, go outside, and then you have to help build a base for them.
Yeah.
So whether it's online or not, I don't even know. I don't think so yet. But like, I think it's gonna center around that mechanic more.
All I know is if you what you say is true and it's online, like we're doing a stream of this where we like the four Pop Samurai Vault settlers come
Yeah.
out of the vault.
I'll be down. I'll be down.
That's gotta be something we gotta do. But yes, excited. I want to know more. Can't wait to find out more. So they didn't show us much. Moving on from that segue. Speaking of transferring stuff between like mobile and not, Pokemon. Pokemon dropped. The Pokemon company dropped the biggest bomb.
Let's go Pikachu.
On us
Let's
as
go
a crew
Pikachu,
here.
Let's go Eevee.
So they announced, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. A smaller little thing. There was some other Pokemon stuff that was announced. Pokemon Quest,
Mhm.
which is that weird cube game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you see the
Meh.
stuff?
You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's a
seems like
mobile game.
a mobile game. Whatever. But you know, the big talking point for us is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. We talked about the rumor a little bit earlier in the podcast's life, and it's arrived. Opinions on the trailer, Jason. Let's go with you.
All right, so I think I am the biggest Pokemon fan in the room. I've played a lot of.
Oh,
like-
all right.
I-
Okay.
Listen, I've been deep in the competitive scene. I know like all the mechanics of the game. I've been playing my whole life. So
So building
like,
up to this moment.
when this was announced and it was like the trailer opened up with it being Pokemon Go, I was like immediately turned off. So I was like, oh well, Pokemon Go's like their battle mechanics, their catch mechanics are like
But-
absolute shit.
But you saw the trailer.
Yeah, and
the
then they
trainer
start getting
battles.
into like where they get the like there's like a whole single player campaign. And I'm like, oh, is this like an actual like main series game?
They show trainer battles with
Yeah.
like abilities and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, kinda. But like if so, here's the thing with and for me, if it's transferable between Pokemon Go, the phone game, and then the Switch game, that means it has to function off of Pokemon Go's
The
mechanics.
CP. Thing?
Yeah, with the CP, the terrible, awful like play to win like leveling mechanic with the candies and whatnot. So I'm like, I was super relieved to hear that you had seen that this is not like a main series game. That's some offshoot thing,
Yes.
and
so,
that's like a huge load off of my shoulders.
So for right now, we don't got a whole bunch of like details like on like everything, but there was like a Q&A sessions. A lot of people talked to some of the people, developers of the game, and this is from what they're garnering here. It's kind of inspired from Yellow, right? Pokemon Yellow. It's going back to the Kanto region. First 150 Pokemon only.
yeah,
You can transfer Pokemon from Did You Capture and Go over. There is no word yet on how the stats and things like that affect each other. It may not. Who knows? And there still is no word whether or not they're following the Yellow storyline exactly. If it was just go through the
I mean, like Yellow didn't really have a story.
yeah.
It was like the
If
red
there
and
is
blue.
going to, like I said, like the formula of like just go do the gyms and then fight the Elite Four,
Yeah.
or are they adding original content to it? Because like I said, inspired by Yellow. So they announced the little Pokemon. It can be it can be 100%
Pokeball?
played with one hand,
How do you
right?
feel about that, guys?
So I like that actually. I thought it was pretty cool, and they're doing the gimmick of like the motion control capture,
I
like
think it's
go.
a little too gimmicky.
Usually with games, you can only play with one hand. They're usually porn games, right? Like I think that's like a
Yeah, this is a porn
subgenre.
game.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
it
Listen.
could be for certain people, and then there is
Listen.
that stuff.
I've jacked off plenty of times the games you can play with two hands, and it's never a problem.
You
All right,
make it work.
it was never a problem.
Okay.
All right.
No, for me, I enjoy that they're adding in the little motion like gimmick. I was like, okay, they're trying to take advantage of the whole motion control thing and do a little bit like little fun things with it. I'd be like, okay, that's fun. The weird thing that I saw was where you can have two players,
Yeah.
which was really weird.
Not sure what that's about.
So I don't know how that works. Like, is
You're
someone
on, like, the
coming
same
with their
screen, right?
yeah, you guys are on the same screen, and you're like two trainers running around. And I was like, is someone bringing their trainer from their game over to your game, or are they a guest player, or what's going on here?
Like Gauntlet.
So it was kind of weird to see that. The connecting with the Go, I don't play Go. I don't know if you guys play Go
No.
at
Not
all.
really.
My phone
I
can't play
used-
Go.
I used to play Go a little bit, but then I kind of fell off it.
I played it like
Same for like.
I think I might have played
80%
it
of
for like the
Yeah.
first.
Go players.
I
Yeah.
think I was on and off for like the first month, and I was like, it's just not what I want, right?
Yeah.
And I've been dreaming of a day where we would get a full like console like actual version of like a Pokemon game, and that's still in the works right now. So before I get to that piece of news, we're still
Yeah.
on this. What's up? Sorry.
Sorry, no, I was gonna talk about like the next piece of news. but-
Oh yeah. So besides that, played with one hand. They added in the Pokeball controller.
Yeah.
I'm hyped about that. I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys.
it's cute.
I would get the little Pokeball controller, and then you can like interact with it and do little things with it. So I'm hyped about that. I don't know about you guys, but
Me,
that's
not
just
too
me.
much.
If I can catch a Slowpoke and bring it around with me, I will do that. I will pay $60 to do that, if nothing else.
I would love it if you like caught up Slowpoke and it slowed you down.
Oh,
It was
what?
like,
No, come on, man.
No.
Don't be that way.
Or if you caught a Snorlax and like you just couldn't move. You wouldn't be able to move unless you're playing the flute. Oh, Pokemon jokes. Yes. So the game, I believe, is releasing in November. I believe.
Yeah, it did say November, which is consistent with the last two games. There's been a game every year in November,
Yeah. Nice.
which is kind of wild to me.
Super wild. Like you said, it's not. The sources have come out saying that it's not the next iteration in the core series.
Yeah.
So the last one was Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon.
Ultra Sun and Moon. Yes, I was
Yep.
gonna say which one. Well, it was the one that came after that. So it is not. It is not the sequel to those games because they've been going in order. So it's just a reimagining, and
Yeah.
hopefully they do it right. And if they have that system and it works, I'd be down to play it that way. You know?
Yeah, that gives me a lot of relief that that's not a main game, because
Yeah, we'll have to see because I'm still a little confused about what it actually like is. Like, can you take it on the go, or like is there like?
It just has. I think it just has Pokemon Go mechanics.
But you just play it at home or wherever.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually have a
but
GPS.
you can take it on the
system.
go because it's on the Switch.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't
It's
have
on
a
the Switch.
I don't think it
dude.
has a GPS
Come on,
system,
dude.
so I don't think it's not gonna work exactly like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
One thing I did really like about it was that you walk around the tall grass, but you can see all the Pokemon like walking around. You have to like actually go to them.
That's the Pokemon
cute.
Go mechanics right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So if you take your Switch on the go with your phone, catch up Pokemon on your
Oh
phone,
shit!
instantly transfer it to your Switch.
Maybe you sync the Switch
Yeah.
with your phone.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, that's pretty
and
much what it
that's
is.
how it works.
they had
Maybe,
that. They
yeah.
had that in the
So
preview.
yeah, we don't know 100% fully what the mechanics will bring, but I mean, I'm excited. Right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get
I'll
it.
play it.
And we'll see what happens.
There's certainly not going to be any like competitive scene around that game though.
I mean, if
we'll see.
wait, what
We'll
if
see.
what if like
not
player
not,
on
not on the likes of any other Pokemon game that like of a main series. Like
but like what if
you
like
can't
the,
have VGC in that.
Well, don't be so hard on this game.
I'm pretty
man.
hard on. I'm
Don't
big
be-
into
don't-
Pokemon,
don't-
man.
don't be
I'm pretty
this
hard
game.
on it.
I'm just saying
Alright?
I'm just saying right now. What if the system is exactly like
It's not.
what we expect from an a
If it's
traditional?
based off of Pokemon Go, it's not.
Well,
but-
I again we saw a different battle system, but we don't know fully what
Plus-
it does.
Okay. Plus, also, there's like 800 some Pokemon now, and you're limiting us to 150. You can't build a competitive scene around that. Like, it's just too much. It's
Man.
too limiting.
if Hearthstone can have a competitive scene and
can't
if
you?
plays can have a competitive scene.
Hearthstone is constantly
It's
evolving.
So RNG based though.
Oh my god, that's not the same.
I think any almost anything can have a competitive scene.
Like,
Yeah.
Not one that anyone will take seriously.
Yeah, I mean, if Magic the Gathering can have
Wait, whoa,
I'm
no,
joking,
okay,
I'm joking.
QuakeCon still has a
So
tournament.
fun! I
every
saw
year.
your face went from like what? No, God, that was really good. All right, and then final piece of news, which is the rumored next iteration of Pokemon.
I heard it was confirmed though, or
It's
They're saying they're working
rumored.
on it.
We don't know what it is. Like, so
gotcha.
they are working on a core Pokemon Switch game. It was teased, I think, at E3 a little while ago, and it's going to be the next iteration from Sun and Moon. You know, so it's going to be the next main title in the series. It's going to be more traditional towards the Pokemon series, unless
Good.
like this gets knocks it out of the park and they just like, hey, this is what it is from now on.
Oh, please don't. man.
But yeah, so that is coming out 2019. So we're gonna
Probably
get
November.
so probably November for next year, which means if they announced these games right now, possibility they might announce a little tease of something at E3,
It might.
but we don't know.
Nah, they'll save it for
It
next
might
year's.
overshadow though, so we don't
Yeah,
want that.
They
you
will
know?
save it for next year's, I think.
My prediction, because it's a long time coming at this point, and the fans have been craving for it. Probably Generation 4 Sinnoh remake, because they traditionally do a new gen and then they do a remake and then they do a new gen. And we've gotten the new gen. Gen 7 came out, so we're due for a remake. And we've already done a remake of 1, 2, and 3, so 4 is probably on its way.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? I mean, E3's coming on upon us very fast. It's sneaking up on us, and we don't
Yeah.
know what they're going to
It's
be
like a
dropping
week
on
away,
us.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a week.
Yeah, basically a week,
Yeah.
week and a half more, and then we're going to be dropping some. They're going to be dropping some bombs on us. Hopefully, fingers crossed. They don't announce everything ahead of time.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Can't wait to play Pokemon in one hand and.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Okay,
Come
Please
on.
don't finish the sentence.
Come on. Come on, you can do
I don't
it.
know why I can't get off this.
I can tell you why you can't get off on Pokemon.
Oh.
Listen, if you want to find it, go to DeviantArt. There's probably plenty of art out there for you.
Well, there probably is. There
Let me-
probably
let me-
is.
Let me
Folks.
teach you something about this thing called the internet.
Yeah. As long as I can get a little Slowpoke in my little Pokeball, I'll be good.
Slowpoke.
I'll pay $60 for that.
All right.
Listen, I like. He's
just
my
the,
boy.
the way you said
He's
that.
my dude. All right.
I got it. That Slowpoke's your dude. Waluigi's your dude.
Yeah, that's right.
So, sure.
I'll
Fun.
fight you.
Jesus.
So wait, oh yeah, I forgot. There's the part where they have the little Pokeball and you can like pet it and then
Yeah,
it
it makes
will, like,
sounds.
Make sounds. So are they gonna have individual sounds for each Pokemon?
With one
Probably.
hand.
They've got
And
like,
one
each
hand-
Pokemon has a cry.
One
so-
hand you pet the ball, and one hand you pet your balls.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's over there, just like,
Mm.
oh
So what,
god.
Jason, let me hear your rendition of the Slowpoke sound. What's that
Oh,
gonna
he just
sound
kind of goes like. "Mm."
like?
Doom.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah.
To me.
It's just about right.
Oh Lord, folks. Yeah. So that's pretty much all the big news that we got out of this week.
Should I have a Slowpoke slushie on my
Not
bed?
much happened this week, right, guys?
I have a Slowpoke slushie on my
we
bed. It's
again,
memory foam.
we're a week out, week and a half out. Do we think we're gonna get some more stuff? We think we're gonna get some more stuff ahead of time?
I hope not.
I
kinda-
think so. I think one or two more big things early on that people want to like escape the E3 hubbub.
I mean, the more spread out it is, the better, because it's gonna help us like process
Yes.
it more. Because otherwise, if like all of them come out at once, it's like, oh my god, so many things are happening.
Since when are people too weak to process more than 3 pieces of
Okay.
news? I don't understand.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's just like they.
That's why I only do 4 pieces of news.
all,
Not joking.
Oh, there was this one little thing though, just real quick. So Dark Souls Remastered came out,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up stuff about Bloodborne. Apparently, in the game of in the Dark Souls remasters, there was like early concepts of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And people were able to transfer those to GTA 5. Yeah. So there's like
What?
I don't know how
Wait,
or
so people extracted Bloodborne models from Dark Souls
from the Dark Souls the new Dark Souls remaster just came out this week to a mod for GTA 5.
Oh, well,
So
okay
like,
then.
so you can explore, GTA 5 as you can explore the Bloodborne castles and the chapels and everything
as
like
Trevor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is pretty fun.
All right. Topic of the week, guys. Topic of the week is brought to you by Jason, actually. Jason, you had a piece of news that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And this will relate to what I'm going to ask the folks. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't remember what the company name is, but the developers who created PUBG is suing
that was
Epic
the big one,
Games,
yeah.
who made Fortnite, for copying their game.
Yes.
Hmm.
So that's the news that Jason wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this leads me to the question of, right, do you think that a game that's built around a certain game mode, right, that has created that game mode and made it popularized it, if you will, has a right to sue other companies for adding that version of that game mode into their games?
No.
Hell no.
No, like, because like that kind of game mode has been around since before PUBG.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where it's like you just drop in and then you gotta like fight to the death.
Arma 2 mods have done it.
Yeah.
Minecraft I think was the first one to do it.
Yeah, I remember Minecraft was a big one.
And then even then, like the whole like Call of Duty format, right? Battlefield kind of copied that.
Yeah.
Should they get should Activision get to sue was it EA or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw that article and I read a little bit into it, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't like some weird technicality that they were suing on. But it was like they're suing because the likeness of the game and the gameplay and whatever is they're saying is copied from their game.
That's gonna be like thrown out immediately. I
Yeah,
hope.
right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like, it's a genre of game. You can't sue like one person makes a zombie game, another person makes a zombie game. Like you can't be like, oh, you stole my game.
Yeah.
Like no.
And also, I mean, the games look completely completely different, but also they're like mechanically very different from what I can tell too. Like in Fortnite, I know you can like ride on like rockets and stuff like that as like
Yeah.
a bug and like use that to get across the map.
Fortnite added more. I think PUBG's like really limited, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, PUBG went for like a more realistic kind of a thing, and then Fortnite kind of just like threw all that out the window.
Who was the first MMO? Like EverQuest.
The first MMO probably
like
EverQuest.
EverQuest would just sue everybody, like Final
Yeah,
Fantasy 15,
And,
World of
and this is what
Warcraft.
I'm saying. So like,
Well,
for,
okay,
like
there
so
are more MMOs, but like 3D like world MMOs. I think EverQuest is the one that's the most
EverCraft.
notable.
Yeah.
EverCraft, yeah.
that's the next iteration of Minecraft, guys.
Yeah, right.
Evercraft. No, but
God, no,
like
it's insane.
my view of it is, I mean, one, I don't think this is a good look for the PUBG people, right?
No.
For doing that. I mean, just it puts a light onto you that like kind of like gets this kind of like icky light that you can't
So-
really scrub off.
But there's a okay. Sorry, finish.
No,
finish,
good.
sorry.
On top of that, if this was actually going to be, if this, because I don't know if it is or not, because we still don't know, but like we're saying that's gonna get thrown out and this and that, but then, a 70-year-old judge looks at it and it's like, I don't know games, but it does look similar. I don't know how they react, but looking at this, if this actually goes through and is actually a fight, even though like I don't think they'd have any way of like, winning this. Hope not. It spells really bad, like
a huge can of worms.
huge consequences for other games that
Yeah.
like have modes that were inspired by other people. Art inspires other art, right? And like for me, I believe gaming is art,
Hell.
right? It is an art form.
Even just a gaming talk show, like this is inspired from like other previous gaming.
Yeah,
talk shows
like
that have
this
done.
talk show.
Please don't
You,
sue
you're
us.
what
Don't
folks
sue us.
out there, you watching this? This ain't nothing new, right?
Yeah.
a group of friends talking in front of some mics, having some fun, talking about gaming. This ain't nothing new, but it's inspired by folks that inspired me to do this and wanted to do this with my friends and have fun doing it. So, and it makes me happy. So that's what I do it. But if you start doing things like this where it's like you're suing people because they drew inspiration from your product or your thing that you had created,
Nothing new would get made.
Nothing new would get made,
Yeah.
right? There would be no advancements. There would be no things like that. I mean, none of us here really play any PUBG or Fortnite, right?
No.
I dabble here. Like I play a round or two once a week, maybe.
Okay, all right.
That's it. Not really.
Bro, you folks who don't know, my brother has been helping out with the stream. He sits behind the screen and everything like that. Bro, you play Fortnite, right? What do you think about this? I mean, are you down? Like, do you think that they have any type of case where they would be able to like go through and say, "Hey,
Say no.
I'm suing"? No. Now, does this also make them into like some sort of a bad light? Does it make the PUBG people look like that they're kind of
like a little petty.
yeah? So
So-
yeah, my bro has said yeah they look petty
Here,
and
the
yeah
verdict is in.
they don't have no way of winning this as
Devil's
well.
advocate over here.
Uh-huh.
So do you guys know about the whole like?
Don't
so
play devil's advocate. Okay, good.
so PUBG uses Epic's like license
Okay.
to make their game,
Oh, okay.
and PUBG put a lot of work in the networking of like how do you put in 100 people in a single server at real live, like using your engine,
Mm-hmm.
right, and have that work in the network, and like they got help from Epic, and they both helped each other to develop the technology that would help that be stable,
Okay.
right? And that took a lot of work, and it took a lot of a couple years to get it all ironed out good. And then it feels like, so from what PUBG feels like is like Epic took all that hard work that the PUBG people did and just put it in their own game.
Hmm.
Oh, I see.
So like like Fortnite was supposed to be a completely different game. Then they just said out of the blue, well, we're announcing this new game mode and it's free,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Sure.
literally using technology that they learned from the PUBG people.
Yeah.
So like if they're suing based on that, I think maybe that would be like different. The whole game mode thing, that's different, but like that's kind of more like stealing our technology kind
Yeah.
of. And like that gets into like that's actual legal stuff. Like that's like a big deal.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Like I think-
Anyone correct me on this? Is PUBG officially out or is it still in early access?
I think it is still in early access, but so is Fortnite. Both of them are. Both of them are still in early
then
access.
I don't get how you can make a case on a game that's not even real yet. Then
Well, PUBG, like you can.
you haven't
you-
officially released it.
both games, you still
Wow.
sell them.
I
They're
kind of
still
think
selling.
once it is in a sellable state, I think it's technically like released.
I
At least in
guess,
terms of
but
like
it's not
the
a
law.
finished game.
Yeah,
Well, I
sure,
guess
but
that
You're
it's
might
not-
charging money
That might
for
just
it.
be my prejudice against early access, but like
Yeah,
if you're not gonna have a
that-
finished game and you're gonna make a snot
That's a
over
whole other
it,
game
like,
topic.
Yeah. Early access. That's a whole nother topic
Yeah.
for
But like
this.
they're charging money for it. For PUBG,
Yeah.
they charge money. For
charge
Fortnite,
money for an
they
incomplete
charge
game.
money for the cosmetics in Fortnite. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's gonna be an uphill battle, and I can understand like your view of it. It's like I fell down a wrestling hole lately, so it's like if you were like in a tag team with the person and they betrayed you, they stabbed you in the back with your own move,
Yeah.
your own finisher move,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hey, I'm gonna use your finisher every match from now on."
Oh man,
my
and they're
God.
like,
What a
"No,
heel turn.
that's my finisher."
Grudge match of the
Wait.
century.
are we gonna?
And so
are we gonna
now-
the Brock Lesnar and the freaking and the F5.
Yeah, basically. So it's it's
That
hard.
sounds like an amazing drama right there.
It's an amazing drama, guys. Folks, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast. We do appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, and everything. Tell people about twitch.tv/PopSamurai Network. Send people our way. Tell them to subscribe to us. We're going to be doing some stuff. Again, we'll be dropping the schedule, our E3 conference viewing schedule. We're going to be live streaming, hopefully, some reactions to the conferences, and we'll see how that goes, and hopefully we can get together and do at least some of the bigger ones, and we'll see what our schedules look like as we come up to it. So this has been your host, Lonnie Hoon, along with hosts.
Jason.
John Harwood.
Pat.
And of course, we end off the podcast every week with a question from yahooanswers.com, and I go to the video game section, and I look for some of the best questions out there, guys. Some of the greatest questions on Yahoo Answers in the video game and online games section there, and some of the questions are good. Some of them are really bad, and some of them are really far out there. So it is what it is. I don't take anything from this serious, and you shouldn't either. It's just for fun. So with that said, this week's question is, hey, you ever heard of Go Fish? And that's it. That's all it is this week. I'll see you guys later.
A relic.
A relic.
This guy out there doesn't know what Go Fish.
All right.
I'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.